and you we are citizen outbreak. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, everybody. Matthew, how are you on this lovely cold evening?
Feel great. Happy
Another
to see you, Rudy.
episode of Citizen Outbreak.
Yes.
Got a few topics.
What do we got?
Bizarre topics.
Things are getting funny, huh?
Things are getting very funny. Instead of us diving into a deep topic,
Yeah.
I'd like to start off with a lighthearted one.
Good. I like her.
And the lighthearted one is McDonald's.
Ooh.
I'm loving it.
I
When was
love
the last time you
McDonald's.
had fast food?
You know, last December, a year ago December, so 2024, on the way to the airport in Miami, heading to Colorado, stopped and got a 6-piece nugget. I used to kill, when I was in high school, like 3 days a week. I'd get a 20-piece McNugget, supersized fries, 3 sweet and sours, 2 barbecue sauce, and a medium Coke. I used to, and you know, you'd be sitting there with my buddies, and because I have 20, they'd be like, "Can I get a nugget?" And you'd feel like you have to give some, and I'd give a few. But I mean, I ate a lot of nuggets. I was a nugget guy. Are still great. The chicken nuggets. They've gotten a little healthier, which I think has decreased the... Huh?
This thing is for you then.
But before that, I hadn't had... before a year ago, I hadn't had them in like 20 years.
Well, then this is for you, Matthew.
Okay.
Do you have a Valentine's Day person?
I got to find... I still have a week. I got to find one.
All right. Well, then this is for you. McDonald's McNuggets are coming... Well, McDonald's is coming out with the McDonald's McNugget Caviar Kit. McDonald's turns internet absurdity into Valentine's Day reality with McNugget Caviar Kits. Free giveaway that combine Paramount Caviar's berry sturgeon caviar with chicken McNuggets.
Who's the caviar?
Paramount Caviar berry sturgeon. Never heard of it. Each kit comes with caviar, creme fraiche, and a mother of pearl spoon.
Wow.
And a $25 gift card for nuggets. I guess so you get the kit and the caviar, and then you get $25 gift card that you could get the
How much
nuggets.
is the... How much is... Wait, so the caviar doesn't come like in McDonald's packaging? Is it like a McDonald's order?
So the website, takes you to a website and says the McNuggets Caviar countdown is on. 5 days, 16 hours, and 29 minutes. That is all it says.
Like it's not the Mc
Limited
caviar.
quantities available only online, not in restaurants. So I think that they send you this McDonald's box with the caviar and the spoon, and then you get $25 gift card to buy the nuggets. So you have to go to McDonald's and buy the nuggets, then you take it home, and then you could do the whole thing with the kit.
Wow, it's on the corporate... It is on McDonald's website.
So they're pushing it.
Wow, this is really cool. I mean, look at this packaging.
It's nice packaging.
McNugget Caviar. I mean, that's cool. Paramount Caviar. Remember they had the one downtown that was like, you know, they had a waiter. It was like the nice McDonald's. Did you ever go to that one? It was like on... Back in the day, there was one that was like on Wall Street or something with waiter service.
Well, you remember that during the U.S. Open, that restaurant, Kakodak or whatever, however you pronounce
Yeah,
it?
Kakaduck, yeah.
Yeah, they were doing, and they're charging $100.
Yeah.
Caviar top chicken at the 2025 U.S. Open. So now McDonald's is like, hey, let's do it for Valentine's Day. You know what? I got to tell you, this is actually a pretty smart idea. I don't know how many people are going to be buying it because McDonald's is known as a cheaper product rather than a caviar product. I don't know if the McDonald's people are really going to go into this caviar thing. I see more Knockadock people buying chicken nuggets and doing the caviar thing. I don't see vice versa.
So
are they going to sell? I think that they'll sell.
It's a gimmick for around the holiday. I think it's smart.
Yeah, I think it's a gimmick.
By the way,
you probably get some kind of limited edition stuff with it.
Well, you get a spoon. That casing is cool. I would buy it just for that casing. That's a cool little tchotchke. I'm a tchotchke guy. But you know, the nuggets for sure are better at McDonald's. You know, I was at the U.S. Open. I didn't spend $100 on the caviar option. I don't go get caviar in restaurants typically, but you know, I love caviar. But
Yeah, I'm not buying caviar in a restaurant either. I have a little
no, Russian, exactly. So, but what do you call it? The nuggets. I mean, the chicken nuggets at McDonald's are the top. Nobody does a better chicken nugget
But
than
are
McDonald's.
they really chicken, Matthew?
I don't want them to, I want them to freeze in time and be whatever I was eating in 95. I'm fine with it. I think you risk the taste when you try to get it healthy. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. McDonald's, keep it, that coating that stays on your mouth after. The McDonald's are incredible, the nuggets. You know, and I just actually, so there's this.
Whoa. You're giving out other people's
No,
podcasts?
I just stopped. But there's a good one that talks about stuff. And I was reading about it. You know that Coca-Cola has a special deal with McDonald's about, you know, they cannot sell it cheaper to any other restaurant than they sell it to McDonald's. And there's a lot of people say Coke at McDonald's tastes better than everywhere else. It's a thing. Like if you Google it, it's a thing. It's a trend. McDonald's has special, like a whole special protocol about how they treat the syrup. They also get the syrup in stainless steel canisters instead of tanks, instead of bags like everybody else. It's fascinating. McDonald's
And they
is
do this
quality.
to all the McDonald's?
McDonald's has like the deal that they struck with Coca-Cola way back when was because Coca-Cola was going international. Like they got special rights from the government during World War I or World War II, but they got over there. They were given they were like sugar rationings, but Coca-Cola figured out ways to get legally around that. They were going around the world. And so they struck a deal with McDonald's, and it's fascinating. But there's reasons why the Coke tastes better at McDonald's. Also, they have those big straws.
Yeah, well, I haven't been to McDonald's in I don't even know how long. Many years, and I don't plan on going. But I might order this just to have a souvenir.
I mean, the chicken nugget. You know what I never had? You know, growing up, you heard about like the McLobster. I always wondered if that stuff was real. You know, like you hear about the McLobster in Maine. I never tried the McRib. I was very simple.
The McRib is actually coming back in April.
I never did a McDonald's breakfast. I was very simple. I always did 20-piece nuggets, 3 sweet and sours, 2 barbecue sauce, supersized fries, and a medium Coke.
There you go. All that food and a medium Coke.
Yeah.
Let's jump.
Medium
into
Coke is the
another-
size of my torso. Have you seen have you gone into a movie theater lately? A
No,
medium Coke is like the size of my torso. It's insane.
Really, because back in the day, the medium Cokes were small.
I mean, it's huge. Everything's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's huge.
Everything's huge. Speaking of huge,
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein.
The
Here we go. Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of files have come out, and now
Yes.
a lot of names have come out, and a lot of weird stuff has come out.
Oh yeah.
And there's a whole database out there.
Yeah.
And things are coming out. What's the weird, like, okay, people have been talking about it, and there's all this stuff, and obviously a lot of the stuff that's coming out, not everything is real. There's pictures coming out of Zohar and Mondami and Epstein.
Wait. Are you saying that's not real?
It's not real. It's Photoshopped. You got to be careful with what you're reading. Also, for those of you who don't know, that when a 3-letter agency, which will remain nameless, but it's not the big agency, it's the medium-sized agency, gets a phone call about Jeffrey Epstein, they have to log everything. So a lot of that stuff that was logged, or people that called in and saw stuff, that came into this dump. So there's a lot of stuff that was in there, but wasn't potentially had anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein, just people calling. But there were some weird things, some things that stood out. There's videos of him chasing little girls. There's videos of him and girls, and pictures of people with girls' names came out that we wouldn't expect that were out there. But the one thing, okay, number one, what's the weirdest thing that you've seen or heard out of this? Like anybody's name or something that's happened?
You know, look, I think this whole thing is gotten so ridiculous. By the end of it, they'll be tying him to JFK's assassination, to the flood that Noah built the ark for. He's everywhere. The quote unquote files are just like cherry picked, randomly redacted portions of communications between people that some of whom are unnamed, others are named. It burns people from both sides of the political spectrum. It goes into music, it goes into science. I think, this is not transparency. I think this is there's no guidance, there's no narrative about it. They just dumped everything out, and it's like, go find something. And, the people that are, pro-Trump, go find something about Clinton, and here's something about him. And then the people, and it's like, I think it's ridiculous. I think it looks like, and it's also like all the people that are promoting the various things, right? Like on one side, this is given to us by the same crew that said that Russia hacked our democracy, that that Hunter's laptop was all Russian disinformation. So people are skeptical about, but now all of a sudden this is all gospel. We have to accept everything that's put out here in such a it's just a dump. And by the way, the people that put it out said that there's no criminality whatsoever. So it's I think by design kind of meant to just kind of put this to destroy the credibility of the whole thing. They have some people their pictures are blotted out, but then in other pictures they're not. There's
names on the emails. The name is blotted out, but you could see their name on the email.
Right. So, I mean, it's kind of, I think this is just, and I hate to say just distraction. I think there is a ton of criminality. I think our government is a for-profit enterprise. I think that is, that's the lifeblood of our government. I don't think people are getting into government. I don't think Nancy Pelosi is going to government because she wants to, she cares about you and me and wants to do good. She's done very well. I think that's just how it works. And, I think rich people hang out with rich people, and I think powerful people hang out with powerful people. And I think that, this Epstein guy, moved around those circles. And pedophilia has also been something that's been rampant across history. You go back to Napoleon, to everybody. So, and people are getting arrested in our government all the time for looking at kiddie porn and stuff. So this stuff all exists. Every narrative that comes out, I don't know, Rudy, to your question, I don't know what to put any kind of credibility into. They have him now being the creator of Bitcoin. They have him they blamed the 2008 crisis on him. There was a trend that was going around that he caused the Bear Stearns. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of people picking and choosing. And the way it was released, that's what it's promoted for. So, I don't know.
I mean,
but did you see? Sorry. I'll just shut up after this. But did you see? The latest thing is that it turns out he's a Russian spy.
I saw that he was a Russian spy.
Right. I believe that one.
Saw that he was using Russian girls to try to get Putin information on Putin. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there.
My favorite thing is actually the David Stern stuff.
The Goys.
The Goys, yeah.
There's a lot of interesting stuff out there. And then also that he might still be alive. You saw that? He might be in Israel or Dubai. But here's a couple things that I want to bring up. Number one, still there are no arrests. Besides Epstein and Ghislaine. There are no arrests. Have you seen anybody be arrested for anything?
Yeah, but I don't like the story. I mean, I haven't. At this point, I haven't really gone through everything with a fine-tooth comb. Arrested for what? I don't know arrested for what. There's a lot of narrative out there about underage kids and pedophilia, and there's testimony. But there's no coherent chain of custody on any of this stuff. The same witness over here, that in one of the quote-unquote files is saying that this one did something bad. There's another file saying that she was totally discredited by blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I have no idea what's real or not. Like I said, I believe they're all corrupt. I believe that pedophilia and sex runs rampant around all this stuff, and it's there. I believe a lot of that stuff. Just, our own head of the FBI and DOJ are saying there's no crime. So they released 50 million quote-unquote files but don't walk any, I mean, there's wild stuff in there about Bill Gates, allegedly doing stuff, and
Getting STDs and
the guy in the Stephen Hawking, that guy, with midgets, or small people, whatever you're supposed to, but I don't know what, everything's incomplete. So everything you need speculation about this leads to that, and ultimately, I think it's only just bad for the Jews, because the groundswell is just that he's just that he was, I guess, he's helping, because the speculation from what they have always goes to, you see, so it's Israel, it's this, I don't, but I don't know. The FBI says that he didn't do anything wrong, or I don't know. They said there's nobody. I have no idea.
I don't know. But and then what's the purpose of them? Okay, so before we're not releasing anything. Then they release a little bit. Then now release all this. What's the point? Why not dump everything a long time ago? Get it all out there, especially if there's quote unquote nothing illegal going on. And if they had something illegal going on, it's not being released right now with this dump, right?
Look, you remember that they, on his second week in office, they did the JFK dump. I mean, they just released like 1 million pages with no guidance, no narrative. Like, they didn't tell anybody. It's needles on top of needles. And the way that they did this, it has to be, I mean, they understand it. Like, we're just going to throw all this stuff out on a Friday. And then people are going to go around looking. And people that want to pursue and satisfy this narrative will be able to take this, here's an email. He's talking about girls are mentioned. I think there's definitely something like that. The story of this guy, however much it's been embellished and created after to pursue agendas, there's something here that involved that involved a lot of money, that involved, and look, another big tell when they had forget about all the big tells about him. You mentioned Maxwell. When Maxwell got arrested, first of all, she wasn't like on the lam, like hanging out and like with a flashlight in the woods, okay? She was at a really nice chalet, chilling, like watch Netflix and chill, okay? Meaning she wasn't nervous, right? She's in a nice place, like I think she was in like Coeur d'Alene or something, but like got taken in. You remember there's a documentary on Netflix you can watch about Johnny Depp and his wife, right? Shitting the bed. Okay, Ghislaine Maxwell's trial is going on at the same time. It involves billionaires. It involves royalty, presidents, sex, drugs, rock and roll. We got one sketch from the in-courtroom thing. That's it. They closed the court and we got nothing. We haven't seen her. So, it's crazy. They're like,
Doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense to me. And the other thing is, we still don't know which agency or who he was working for. They're not telling us that. And these congressional hearings that are coming up, are they going to really depose the 3-letter agency and say, hey, because they definitely were watching him. I mean, the guy was working for Adnan Khashoggi and another gun runner and all these people. And you're telling me that they don't have a file on him?
Look, it's unusable. And it's unusable by design, what they released here. And this is what our government...
He was giving information to people.
Well, maybe. I mean,
You also don't have somebody coming out and saying, you know what, I'm in these files. Yes, he was extorting me. Yes, this is what happened. Nobody's talking to, what's his name, Wexler.
He's never mentioned, which is pretty amazing. You could walk by that $1
mansion.
50 million. It's incredible. You walk by there now. It's amazing.
Or Leon Black, who gave him 50 million, or what is it? I don't even know the number for consulting. Matthew, you do consulting. Has anybody offered you 150 million for consulting? And let me tell you something. You're a lot smarter than this idiot who basically didn't even get a graduate degree and became a math teacher at Dalton, could barely do 1 + 1.
Exactly. Look, what I'll tell you is
what a business plan looks like, or let alone what a business works like.
Right. And what I'll tell you is, like, if you think about it, I didn't even, there are going to be hearings. So the Republicans will ask a lot of questions about the Clintons and about all this, and the Democrats will ask about Trump, and it'll be sound bites, and it'll be a Twitter thing, and then it'll be done. Because there's nothing usable here. Like, you have emails It was like CNN led off with like, here's an email. Oh, the name's blacked out. And they were blacking out victims that have testified, that have written biographies that are out there. Or, so I mean, the whole thing has kind of just been, and by the way, I'm not saying that there's nothing here. I'm saying that that's by design. They've made it unusable. Like it's just too much of a mess. And you do that when it's a good way to just get everybody to move on. They'll have a hearing. Like, I don't know, I caught this morning, Besant was at I didn't even know Congress still existed, right? Like, when was the last time you saw Mitch McConnell anywhere? Apparently he's still alive, right? Besant was there and they were just yelling at him. And this one guy, this dummy was like talking to him about, the Trump Bitcoin kind of exposure. He was mixing everything. He didn't understand the difference between the Trump coin. But anyway, he was just attacking. They just scream at each other for sound bites. So it'll be more of this. It'll be good headlines, and they'll time it right around the midterms probably. And it'll give them that. But I don't. What's out there now is, I mean, wasn't Kash Patel still saying that there's nothing here?
Nothing there. Nothing
right.
there.
So why are you releasing 50 million? And Thomas Massey's walking around like he's a hero. What did he do? He put out that Bill Gates caught an STD? Like, your hero.
I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, there's a lot of innuendo in
By
there.
the way, I think it's a good thing that there's a lot of innuendo. Like, why doesn't somebody ask, like, why don't they call that guy in and say, tell us what, because what basis do they have if they don't have, like, I don't know, right? I mean, I think they're all corrupt. I think there's a lot of crazy stuff.
He came out and he said something about it. He's really the only one that said something about it.
About what?
He admitted that it was foolish to spend time with Jeffrey Epstein in his first interview since the last bombshell.
Right. Have you seen what his wife said?
And Microsoft founder denied accusations that he caught an STD after having sex with Russian girls. It wasn't a Russian girl. It was a French girl or Ukrainian.
What about his wife? You see her?
Yeah. He's a real looker.
Well, I'm just saying, like, she's actually talking. But okay, so they just say, all she says is that it's so painful and I had to get away. Tell us more.
Tell us more.
Like, what's going on? So I have no idea. Point is that it's not like, and Trump, what he's doing is equal. Like, he just now is saying it's a hoax. It's a hoax. In the sense that it's totally unusable, that there's like, that right now it just amounts to a bunch of, fodder for political reasons. As released, I would say he's right. But it also is like, why is this, like, there's obviously something here. And apparently the FBI doesn't want to look into it. And by the way, it's not only under Trump. I mean, nobody's wanted to look under it. And when he first got arrested, it was under Obama. So I mean, this goes back. And back then they were talking about whether or not he was in the, in some kind of agency.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah, we'll see what happens. How many other Jeffrey Epsteins are out there, Matthew?
It's he's become the depository for everything, though. So I mean, literally, you can't find a topic where they're not bringing it back to him.
No, but I mean, are there other people like this where they're parading around with elites?
Yeah, look, I think
to get information out of them, using them to blackmail.
Sure. If that's what was going on, for sure, that's what happens.
Using influence to get contracts.
Look, I think if you look at like what's the guy that runs ginseng? What's his name?
Jensen Wang.
Right, Jensen Wang. So I mean, like, look, this guy is. Our business leaders have meetings with, they have different access points. So yeah, it's only logical that if you're sitting there and you're, you're in the public domain, but the quiet domain, you say, hey, let us talk to you. Next time you go over there, we want you to ask them about this. We want you to do this. Would you feel comfortable talking about this? By the way, we know that you got some contracts coming up. I mean, look, Elon Musk. Okay, Elon Musk was running his Tesla company was, they were losing $30,000 a car, but for government subsidies keeping that thing alive, it was a bankrupt company for a long time. The guy's a genius, but you know, he has SpaceX. He works hand in glove with the government for a very long time. You know, do you think that that's just a totally just like coincidence? Like, yeah, you know, we know him because he's doing all this cool stuff. Or do you think that they have conversations, and where those conversations, and now he controls X, which is the public square. I mean, you know, communications. I mean, there's just, I think it goes like this across all this stuff.
Right. Well, we'll be seeing what else pops off in these documents.
You know, I think it's going to get wild.
Yeah, but my whole thing is, why did they release it now? Like, you know, it's always like, hey, look over here while we do this. So you had the Minnesota stuff going on, and maybe they released it now because we're not talking about Minnesota.
I'm with you there, man. You brought that up last week. I think they have to worry about a couple things. They have to worry about inflation. They really do have to worry about inflation, because when things get out of hand, people will eventually, you know, there's a line like you're 3 meals away from a revolution, always, you know, and so they can do all their stuff and play their games, but they have to keep a watch on inflation. And, you know, people assume that government is corrupt, but it's like that work that Nick Shirley did in Minnesota, and then 2 days later, it's like, you know, the national cause went from, you know, no kings and Iran to being like suicide by cop is the new thing to do. Like, you know, it's the in this case, kind of like the platform for these people that got so elevated so fast about what's going on in Minnesota is so crazy. All of a sudden, ICE is like, you have people at the top of our institutions calling ICE a Nazi institution. It's crazy. So I think, you know, their ICE is everywhere, like you pointed out last week. Minnesota had this kid, Nick Shirley, was pointing out some grisly stuff. They don't like people figuring this out, you know? So
there's a lot of corruption both sides of the aisle. There's a lot of fraud out there, both sides, and nobody wants to tell us the truth. And they're keeping Hideaway. There's a lot of questions we could go into, and there's a lot of deep things on Epstein. But let's not spend so much time on it. Let's go on to our next topic.
Take us there, Rudy.
Savannah Guthrie.
That's a crazy story.
Her mother was abducted kidnapped out of her home in Tucson, Arizona.
Snatched out of her bed.
Now, where she lived, Savannah Guthrie's mother, where she lives, I actually lived right down the street when I was in college in Tucson.
Really?
Yeah, I know that area very well. And she lived on East Campbell Skyline. It's beautiful up there. It's called the Foothill Mountains, and it overlooks Tucson. So if you're up there at a certain area, and it seems like she was high up because she's at Skyline, you could see down there. And it's basically, you're in the desert, and there's houses up there, and there's nice houses. You have a couple little houses. You have a couple big houses. It's a nice area.
Do you hear about this kind of stuff going on often there?
In Tucson?
Is something like this, like a woman getting snatched in the middle of the night, something that people hear about up there?
No, but this was back then. I went there. I was there between 1995 and 2000. So it was a long time ago. We had carjackings. I saw drive-by shootings. You're only like,
you saw drive-by shootings?
2 drive-by shootings. And actually, I was at a party twice. Once near this location, where somebody started shooting into the house, and then another one at a different party where somebody was shooting outside at somebody. But yeah, this was the wild, wild west. You know what I mean? You're only a couple minutes away from the Mexico border, Nogales. Right. And if you go across the train tracks, you're in the South Side.
Right.
And if you don't speak Spanish,
you're in trouble. You're
on the South Side, you could get in a lot of trouble. Now, the South Side has a lot of good Mexican food.
Is it? Have they cleaned it up at all now, or is it? Or you were recently back there, right?
Yes, I was recently back there, and I think it's the South Side. I drove through the South Side actually, because the way from the airport to get to Tucson, the way I was going, I made the wrong turn, and I ended up in the wrong. But it was during the day, so I was okay.
But it's bad.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Now you have these illegals that are there. So if ICE, now I've read stories that ICE is there cleaning up the illegals. But yeah, so you have a lot of cartel members that are there.
Right.
So a lot of the speculation was
I didn't know that.
it was the cartel. That,
I mean, I knew that Arizona, but I didn't know the school was right. You know.
yeah. I mean, most schools are not in good areas.
No, I know that. Like University of Chicago, my cousin was there.
Chicago.
My cousin was there when the Rodney King riots happened. But he said like the first day of orientation, basically you get there and they're like, don't go that way. And you mentioned Mexican food. He was like, inevitably, because they have great, you know, fast food in that way, like that the kids after their parties would sometimes you'd hear about like this guy going there to get something at 2 a.m. and just one person he said got burned alive, a student or something, like burned or kidnapped, and like it was back then. So I mean, yeah, a lot of schools.
Right. So it's weird, but
so yeah, sorry, Arizona.
That area too. Yeah, that area Tucson. You don't really hear about that. Now the question is, why her? Why they out of randomly? Why are they going into her house? There's other nicer houses. Why are they going after Savannah Guthrie's mother? And then people like speculating maybe it's cartel people, but it's weird because supposedly TMZ, which is another weird thing because Harvey Levin, the head of TMZ, was mentioned in this Epstein dump.
Right.
And still has not talked about it. But he somehow, somewhere, they are the ones who got the ransom letter.
Wait, there's a ransom letter?
Yeah, we don't know what it says in the ransom letter because they haven't released it, but they were demanding a certain amount of Bitcoin. The cartel doesn't demand Bitcoin. The cartel deals with cash.
Hold on a second. There's a ransom letter? I didn't see that.
There's a ransom letter, yeah.
Well, she's alive, hopefully.
Hopefully she's alive. So why target Savannah Guthrie?
Look, I saw one thread where it was talking about I don't know if it was the husband, the second cousin, or something that worked on something that with the Epstein or something. I mean, he was tied into this too. I'm saying that's part. I'm talking to the Epstein thing. How crazy it is. Like it's everywhere. I don't know why target her. I mean, I guess maybe would they know who Savannah Guthrie is in this part of Tucson, the bad guys?
I mean, Savannah Guthrie, I'm pretty sure people knew who she was, but did they live together? Did they not?
Well, maybe she visited. Look, it just takes one person saying, yeah, you know who lives there. I mean, kidnappings like this, you're talking about being that close to the border. You know, when there are, in like the triangle, I don't know. I mean, there's bad parts where kidnappings are, but if that's happening now in Arizona, I just didn't know if this has been something that happens there, you know?
It's bizarre.
So, but what does it say about the ransom note? Harvey Levin's not showing anybody?
No, they're not talking about it. There is one, but
Harvey Levin.
Nothing comes up on it. Who's the reporter that a long time ago had the whole Jeffrey Epstein? They had the whole thing that they were going to come up with, and I think it was ABC, and they said no, we're not releasing this. And she did a whole interview about it. Not interview, but like a whole news thing, and they were interviewing different people, and they were going to break the news about Jeffrey Epstein, and then they squashed it. Was it her?
I don't remember that. I remember a similar thing with Harvey Weinstein.
There was a reporter that did it, and I forgot who it was. I wonder if it has anything to do with. I don't know. It's bizarre, and hopefully Savannah's mom gets brought back into it. Guthrie was supposed to be covering the Olympics, and the Winter Olympics, I believe, are
take the month off, huh?
And she is not, and she's trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, hopefully everything works out. That's crazy.
84-year-old woman.
Terrible.
Snatched in her bed.
Terrible.
She does not suffer from dementia, has full cognitive function. She has physical limitations and cannot walk more than 50 yards on her own.
Wasn't there something about like the Find My, like they looked for her because her phone went dead or something, right?
Right.
I don't know. It's a crazy story. And what the hell is Harvey Levin? He's a gossip guy. There's something. He's like TMZ's big, I guess. He's like a big name, big guy, connected guy.
Yeah, but like, why is he in the Epstein files?
The reporter.
Okay, here we go, Matthew. Are you ready?
Yes, good. You got there. Good.
Savannah Guthrie in 2019, following Epstein's arrest and death, Guthrie conducted several high-profile interviews for NBC News and Dateline with his accusers and survivors. There were standard journalistic pieces exposing Epstein's alleged abuse and failures in the justice systems, not any indication of personal ties. And that's about it. So that's nothing. That's a nothing burger. That's just a weird coincidence.
I mean, she's in the news. She's kind of, she covers a lot. That was a big story.
Yeah. Yeah, this is bizarre. We hope that her mother is safe, and we will keep you guys updated on that. Okay, next. Did you watch the Grammy Awards? I personally watched
The Grammys.
the beginning, and then I turned it off to watch the Knicks Lakers game.
I was watching the Knicks Lakers game, which was painful, but I did not watch the Grammys.
The Knicks won. What do you mean it was painful?
It was painful hoops. It was the style of hoops is not. It's tough to watch at times, but that's the NBA. The long shots, everything. But yeah, the Knicks won. I was happy the Knicks won.
Right. So apparently Billie Eilish came up on at the Grammys, and
Yeah,
do you know what she said, or should I?
tell the people.
Billie Eilish Grammys.
She said you can't be an alien on a stolen land or something,
Right. You can't. Well, she said.
which has made for really good memes and everything like this. And apparently, there's a tribe, right?
There's a okay. Slow down.
Let's go back.
Let's go back. Billie Eilish previously called out ISIS deadly operations in Minnesota, and during her Song of the Year acceptance speech, she said, "No one is illegal on stolen land, and how it could be difficult to know what to do in times like this. I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter." Then, before she walked up stage, she said, "Fuck ICE."
Did she say fuck ice?
Yeah.
She's so brave.
So, apparently, her several $1 million mansion in Los Angeles is on stolen land. And there's did I send it to you? That there's now lawyers have actually sent her letters.
It's great.
A LA law firm offered to evict Billie Eilish from her mansion on behalf of the Tongva tribe.
Right.
Eilish's admission that she lives on stolen land gives the tribe a rightful action of possession as true ownership of the property.
Awesome. I hope they get it.
Notice has already been written and served.
I hope they get it. There's a lot of those lawsuits across the country.
Right. You had a couple. You had the African American pop.
No.
Sued for the land in Los Angeles by the beach, and supposedly they got some money for it.
Yeah,
But
but
taking on stolen land.
specifically,
Also.
I was just talking about the Indians, the Native Americans.
Yeah, don't call them Indians. They're Native Americans. Okay.
Okay, sorry, Native Americans.
But you know who is an Indian?
Epstein?
Zohan McNugget.
No, he's right. She is part Indian. No, she's part Native American.
Native American.
Pocahontas.
So anyway, so Billie Eilish now opened up a whole can of worms of stolen land.
I hope they get her.
But it's funny that she's on stolen land, but she's making a shitload of money on this stolen land.
These people are, I like Nicki Minaj.
Well, we know why you like Nicki Minaj.
Yeah,
You want to tell us why you like her?
I think she's great.
But did you think she was great before?
Yeah, I like in all of her little beefs. I've liked her. She comes out looking good, and she's taken on a few. I liked her little beef with Don Lemon. I thought she was funny.
Well, she came out swinging during this Grammy. She put on a lot of people. Jay-Z,
Yes,
Don Lemon, a lot of people that she put on blast, and she
was saying some really crazy,
Yeah, she's crazy things. The world is a crazy place, Matthew, and every day that we wake up, we say, can it get any crazier? And then, yes, it gets crazier and crazier. And sometimes I think, I'm like, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the crazy one, and this is a normal thing. Maybe everybody that's doing this is a normal thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish, to me, is absurd that she comes out and she says this. Yes, we need immigrants in this country. You come from immigrant family. I come from an immigrant family. Most of the people we know, and most everybody came eventually from an immigrant family to the United States of America. However, what's going on now and what she's trying to speak up for, they're getting rid of illegals that came here under Joe Biden's open borders.
Look, It's the state up until this week, actually, because Schumer, I think, came out and just said basically they want to make everybody legal at this point. They're for total amnesty now. But up until this week, stated positions of both political parties in this country have remained the same. And enforcement has been, of course we want to enforce. And everybody understood there were two distinctions, legal and illegal. They injected a word called undocumented. Then they moved it to migrant to collapse the distinction between illegal and legal completely and just make it a moral character of the migrant so that you're just racist if you're against it. It's nowhere else in the world. Is it like a Hitler thing to say we want border security, especially because the whole narrative, like after 9/11, border security, terrorism, border security was not an inherently racist or extreme thing. It was agreed upon. Democrats and Republicans, everybody on the planet said, yeah, you need borders. And the stated policy of the Democratic Party was borders. In New York City, right, Rudy, we've got, I don't know if you've been to New York City the past 10 days, we've got snow and trash mounted up, right? So the sanitation department in New York, you know how much money it gets on an annual basis? $2 billion. You know how much immigrant services got last year? 7 is what they publish, right? So, and FDNY and a large chunk of health services combined with sanitation is under that 7, meaning those 3 totaled up together is less than what immigrants. So the point is they behave as though they're open borders, and then when they're asked about it, they don't define the position. They just make it a moral thing, which allows them to not have to define their position. Whenever you make anything a moral indictment, you don't have to actually defend a position. You're just a bad person. So, Billie Eilish doesn't want to be a bad person. She thinks, I'm a good person, so you're a bad person.
Look, every time that we have an award show, or music, or it be acting, the one thing I haven't seen this happen is in country music, but it seems to me that every time people get up there, and it's always a political thing. It's always like, I need to make my political stance, and I need everybody in the audience to look at me like I'm the one making the political stance. We don't give a shit what you say.
Yeah, but the movies suck now. Like we were talking about this last week.
Yeah, the movies suck. The music is not that great.
They're all obsessed with politics. It happened during COVID, in my opinion.
Like stop. We're there to watch entertainment, and then you got this idiot host.
Trevor Noah, he hosted it, right?
Noah, but it's every host. They think they're funny by making comedic jokes about politics, but it's not. It's not. But to be fair, he did come at not just Donald Trump, but at Bill Clinton too. But do we really? We're here for music, not politics. We're here for music. We're not here to talk about Donald Trump. We're here for music. Unless Donald Trump is making a book, an audio book, or a song, we should not be talking about him during the Grammys.
There used to be a little bit when you went to see a movie, you were going to see a movie.
You want entertainment. You want to escape every day.
Right. What I'm saying is like during COVID, and this is just like my opinion, and we made a game about it. Every 20 seconds.
What's that game called?
The Citizen Outbreak, man.
And you can buy that at where?
CitizenOutbreak.com, at Amazon. But it's during that time, and I still kind of have that, like 5 o'clock, you got to turn on the press conferences. Then they told it, like, if you think every 20 minutes, a new crisis was happening and everybody got used to that tempo and they just kept going with it. Like all the crazy shit that's going on right now, like this used to be like this week we're dealing with Iran. But what's going on with Iran, by the way? That was like a 20-minute. What's going on with Iran?
No idea.
Right. So that's now done. I mean, the amount of stuff that they just plug into like every 20 minutes is crazy. And they've conditioned people to really be identified with their political stuff. So the actors, like everybody, like they are identifying personally with whatever they're told to identify with that week. Like, when they pretended like No Kings was this thing that was around forever. Now it's like this new thing on it. The real Hollywood now is Congress. All they do is perform. I don't know what the hell they do otherwise. And, they're making a lot of money. And actors aren't making good movies anymore because they're just so obsessed with politics.
And really shit.
The movies suck now. I have no idea what's up for best. This was the Grammys. I don't know a new good song. I couldn't tell you one. I mean, I don't know. But maybe I'm just out of it.
I like Jelly Roll.
See, I don't know any of his music.
Jelly Roll good, and Jelly Roll came out, and he was talking about
Jesus,
and you had everybody in the audience, all those artists rolling their eyes. They don't
Jesus.
They don't believe in God. They don't believe in Jesus. But they believe in fuck ice, right?
This week.
Next week, it's going to be something else.
They'll have another pin.
Matthew, if they didn't have something, then we wouldn't have or a game, because all the crazy shit that happens. All right, our last topic of the day.
Yes.
The Washington Post.
I don't read it.
I don't know anybody that does read. A man by the name of Jeff Bezos bought it several years ago.
Yeah.
And apparently he's been spending over $1 billion covering the losses since 2013.
Yeah.
Poor Jeff Bezos.
You want to talk about a weird guy?
Well, weird, but he started firing a lot of people, and now people are not happy that they're firing people, but it's losing a lot of money. It loses, reporting 53.7 million operating losses a year from 2012.
I don't know.
Declining print advertising, growing losses, revenue decline, operational struggles. Now, why do you think that this journalistic newspaper, why do you think that they're losing advertising money? Why do you think that people aren't reading it anymore? Or ever?
Look, I like I said, I don't think I've ever read the Washington Post.
Well, it's a left-leaning newspaper with a lot of left-leaning commentary, so maybe that they're losing money, just like CNN, just like all these other left-leaning.
I mean, do they have anything besides the paper?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so they're done. Kids today don't read.
No, but you see people.
They got
reading,
Twitter.
Yeah, but maybe they have
TikTok.
Articles, but people like to read articles, some journalists, but journalistic views. But it seems like every time that they come out with something, it's always left-leaning. Now, to be fair, the last 2 years, they've been going sort of in the...
Well, I thought when he took it over, he wanted to reshape, like he said, he wanted to. It was before Trump was gearing up to run again, and he said No,
he took it over before that. He took it over in 2012, 2013.
No, but whenever he took it over, he made comments. No.
He made comments, but he didn't do anything. He started steering it in a different direction.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
2 years ago.
Okay, but whenever he took it over, he made comments like, I think we need to look at, because the problem with these newspapers is that the whole thing is just an op-ed page, right? Like, you can have an op-ed page in the back, but do some news. The New York Times, the Washington Post, they're just all op-ed. But that's everywhere, But who wants to read that left-wing bullshit? It's just crazy.
But
they're going to be writing about Epstein and about ICE until, something else happens.
All right. Well, that's all we have for tonight. Again, thank you very much for joining us. CitizenOutbreak.com. You could buy your game. Amazon, you could buy your game. Citizen Outbreak. Just search it up. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so I want to tell everybody you can go and buy your game for the loved one. Wrap it up, give it to them. They'll enjoy it.
Put it right next to the McDonald's Caviar.
Put it right next to the McDonald's Caviar. You can enjoy the McDonald's Caviar
over a game,
while playing the game, enjoying a nice bottle of wine, or sparkling water.
Right.
Tell your friends. Podcast is on
YouTube,
Apple,
Spotify,
and wherever podcasts are.
We're everywhere.
And we're
climbing on the charts.
We're climbing on the charts. And you guys have a very good night. Thank you very much for joining us.